Welcome to Restaurant Deal Making Exposed, the only show that equips you with everything you need to know about restaurant transactions. In this show, we tell you all about how to make the sale or purchase of your restaurant not just possible, but successful. Now here are your hosts, ex-restaurateurs and seasoned brokers, Patrick Toda and Andy Mirabel.
All right, everybody, we're back here at Restaurant Deal Making Exposed with Patrick and Andy. This is episode 6, making the decision to open your first restaurant with Ike Shehadeh. Ike Shehadeh is the visionary founder behind Ike's Love and Sandwiches, a popular sandwich chain known for its creative and delicious offerings. This SF-born empire has grown into 100 stores across 6 different states. Ike opened his first sandwich shop in 2007 with a simple vision to spread love and happiness through good food. His unique and flavor-packed sandwiches quickly gained a cult following, leading to a rapid expansion. Ike's commitment to quality ingredients and his exceptional customer service has set his brand apart. Each sandwich is thoughtfully crafted, often with quirky and fun names, creating a memorable dining experience for the customers. Ike and I have sandwiches and our Palestinian culture in common. I grew up in a deli and really is the legacy passed down to me from my family, for what it's worth. There was a time in my professional career I've envisioned myself doing exactly what Ike is doing right now.
Gosh, 100 stores, Ike. That is quite a feat. Congratulations to you.
Hasn't sunk in yet, actually.
Really? Does it feel different than 99 or 87 or any of the others?
The answer is no, it doesn't. And perhaps this is, as we get into it, one of the things is like, oh, I want to start a restaurant, how it looks from 1 to 100 and beyond that. I'll say the outside experience of me or Ike's, like other people, peer groups, publications, politicians, they think 100 is a big deal. They think it's a bigger deal than I think it is. And I mean, there is something to it's triple digits now, but my experience hasn't really changed. I know people outside are going, oh my gosh, you have 100 stores? Where maybe they didn't care, or maybe it's somebody that didn't text me back for like 2 years. And then they like see that we have 100 locations because we did the press conference or the press release 2 weeks ago, I think, pretty recently. And then now everyone's like, oh my God, you got 100 stores.
Where's that 100th store for our listeners? This is a pretty big deal. Where is it located? You told us earlier, Oracle Park, where the SF Giants play.
Yeah, we're right there on Dr. Maya Angelou Way or Lane. There's some controversy whether it's called Way or Lane. But we're right. And you just go outside and cross the Lefty O'Toole Bridge. You will run into us. We're on the corner. It's very prime located, right next to the Visa World headquarters. And we're there on the corner. We brought back the original Ike's menu from the very, very first. Going to be our flagship location moving forward. And I'm talking about some sandwiches that we haven't sold since 2008, 2009, and 2010 from the first location, because we just got rid of the ingredients because they weren't selling. But I'm like, you know what? We're bringing an homage back to San Francisco, back to my roots. It's kind of, for those that don't know the whole story about Ike's, I started in San Francisco, and then literally the mayor and the city itself kicked us out. The mayor, now the governor of California. So Gavin Newsom was the mayor. That's how long ago it was. And we got kicked out.
He did you guys like the 49ers.
Yeah. We moved to Oracle, very coincidentally, Oracle, but in Redwood Shores, California, and Stanford. That was our second location. We moved out of the city, and then now it's like the prodigal son is coming back, although I feel like I didn't do anything wrong, although they probably think that I did. And so here we're coming back, and even in a time where, oh, San Francisco sucks and all that, well, I'm opening the 100th location. I have opened the 100th location in San Francisco, brought it back to my roots, which is where I was born, but also Ike's was born in San Francisco too.
Right on. I kind of like glazed over that. I knew that, but it's nice that you remind us and the listeners that you're an SF local. So this is super cool that you're hitting this milestone back in SF in such an iconic location. Congratulations to you. So it opens up a lot of questions, and I want for the listeners to know that, what we're really focusing on is, in short, we called it from 1 to 100. Making the leap from your first business venture to whatever number you're going to grow your brand and concept to. So today we want to dive into the journey of scaling from a single unit to 100 in Ike's case here, exploring some of the challenges and triumphs that come along with taking your first steps in the business world. We also need to discuss very clearly how much you need to believe in yourself, believe in your concept, and literally just getting over that hump to take the first step, because that is the scariest step you take, especially in this industry. So back it up. You said there was some controversy around, your first location in San Francisco. And before we dig into that dirt and gossip and expose you on that side a little bit, what was it like opening your first location? And, how did that come to fruition? And what year was it?
I started working on the first Ike's in 2006. We ended up opening up, and I guess by we, I mean, I basically did everything. So me in 2007. So it took me about a year from I want to open up Ike's to opening up Ike's, what became Ike's. And I would say because I didn't know anything about restaurants, it was way easier than I thought. When I explained the process out to people, people go, no way you did that. And so I want to put this in context. I came from no restaurant background. I made sandwiches at my supermarket in 2001, and Ike's opens up in 2007. In 2001, but that wasn't a restaurant. I was running a supermarket, and we just had a deli in there, and I would call that a restaurant. In fact, I didn't run it how I run Ike's now, because I get often from people, hey, Ike, I don't know what to do. And I go, well, when I started, I didn't know what to do either. I literally went to this thing called the freaking internet and typed in Google how to open up a cafe. And then I made a list of what I thought it would take to open up this business. I need to get a menu. I need to find a wholesaler. I need to find signage, like name the place. I needed like all these things needed. And then also, obviously I needed to fund it. So it's about 17 things on the list. And because I had zero context of how to open up a restaurant, I just Googled everything, literally. Best sign design, things like this. And I found every single thing that I needed to find from the internet. And so when somebody comes to me and goes, oh, I don't really know what to do. I'm like, nobody knows what to do in the beginning. It's not like whoever you look up to, guy from my one of my main mentors, Andrew Chern from Panda Express, he didn't know what the hell to do when he first opened up a restaurant. He came to this country, him and his father, and they just opened up a restaurant. And that you've done in your life, look at how you didn't know what you wanted to do, or you didn't know how to do it, and then you just figured it out.
Well, that's a good phrase. I mean, you said, let's domain hack. It's like, I think 9 out of 10 people you ask be like, hey, get in there, get dirty, start dishwasher, move to line cook, do this, then go off and open your own restaurant. But you're saying in a lot of ways, this benefited you.
Because I didn't have another, say, chef or restaurant way of doing it. In fact, I already signed the lease for Ike's and started getting in the process of Ike's and was within like 3 or 4 months of getting opened. And I thought to myself, I should probably get some restaurant experience. And my roommate at the time, his father had just opened up a fine dining restaurant in Palo Alto. And so I go and I ask him, hey, can I work there? I didn't say I'm going to leave in 3 months because obviously I would have said hell no to myself. If somebody came to me and said, hey, can I get a job for the summer? I'd be like, unless I needed the help, get the hell out of here. And so yeah, don't tell me you need a job for the summer, guys. It's a hack. Don't be like, hey, I need something to do for the next 3 months. I don't care if you need something to do for 3 months.
People used to do that to me all the time. And I'd be like, next time you go to a job interview, please do not lead off with that.
Yeah. Go work out for 3 months or go read a book for 3 months. Do something else. And so he goes, I don't have any positions available for servers or anything or chefs, though I do need a bartender. So I thought, hey, bartender sounds kind of cool. And so I end up working at this spot. I saw how he ran his business, and I didn't like it from being a part of the staff perspective. And I remember seeing fine dining and seeing the customer service level at that level. And a couple of times people called in sick. Obviously, it's the restaurant business. So then I started moving on to being a server and a bartender. And so a lot of what I started at is giving the service of a fine dining restaurant. And from that, I mean in the explaining the menu out to people. And even though it's a sandwich shop, although Ike's sandwiches are a little eclectic, so sometimes they need more explaining. And then also from I care about your experience here. So let me make sure that you're happy. If I bring out something and you take a bite and you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be because we got weird sandwiches. Oh, I'll get you what you want. All I care is you leave and you tell people that you liked it, not that I made money.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Those are some core things that you took out of, working in a full service restaurant or upscale restaurant. I mean, that's really good advice for people to remember. It doesn't have to be a cookie cutter type of service, but you take what works for your concept. And it sounds like that's what you did. Yeah.
I think so. We started on talking about that because of how it was to start. So for me, all I did was from my mind, my frame of reference, what it would take to open up a restaurant. And even though my list was only 17 things on the list, which seems like, oh, maybe that's not that many things, or some people might think that's a lot of things. As I was literally Googling, internet searching things, looking for things online, I started getting ideas for other things. Because when you search wholesaler San Francisco, which was a search I did, and then it'll pop up, oh, ice cream. I should probably do that. Kind of other things, like other ideas popped in as I was researching how to open up a cafe. Oh, coffee, because I need a coffee purveyor. Oh, there's this coffee purveyor. And then I started thinking, oh, yeah, that's right. Not everybody drinks milk, and there's soy milk. But what if they don't want soy, or what, brown rice? So I had, the day I opened, I had brown rice milk. I had soy milk. I had almond milk. I had non-fat milk. I had low-fat milk, and I had milk.
How did that sell?
Because I thought that's way too many milks, right? Nobody does that. Now flash forward. Oh, and I had macadamia nut milk or hazelnut milk.
Wow.
Now flash forward to now, every single bougie coffee shop has almond milk and oat milk. Oat milk wasn't a thing back then, although I'm sure I would have had oat milk back then.
Yeah.
The thing is, I started by that because I thought, well, my background in service industry as a generalization is I want you to come in, and I never want Patrick to be like, oh, sorry, I'm not going to get that. Oh, you don't get that because you don't eat soy? Perfect. I got this macadamia milk. Oh, you're allergic to nuts? Well, I got rice milk, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I got that idea, though, from searching. And as I expanded my searching and the looking for what was going on at Ike's, or to become this cafe, more and more stuff opened up to me. So if you're there and you're like, oh, I want to open up a restaurant, and it's not limited to just restaurants. If you want to open up a business, just start from wherever you're at. Because anybody that you're looking up to, whoever it is, whether that's Elon Musk or whoever that you want to look up to, could be it could be Colonel Sanders. They all started when they didn't know anything, and they all started when you didn't know them, and they all started when they were broke, and they all started when they had no experience. All started in the same exact spot you are, and in fact, maybe you might even be ahead because you have mentors to look at, and you have the internet to look at now too, where someone like Colonel Sanders did not have that. So you can just start from wherever spot you're at right now. If you look up to me, hey, I didn't know diddly when I started. Like, I didn't know anything. If you saw me in 2006 and 2007, you would have been like, there's no way this guy ever becomes successful.
How much of it do you attribute when you scale? You're going from location 2 to location 10 and whatever. How much of it is organically happening with your learning curve? And how do you also stay within your framework or your concept to not confuse the market, by changing your concept as you grow bigger?
Well, again, a couple of things that I knew or didn't know when I started helped me. I didn't know that you needed to scale or get processes in place. The way I found out that I needed processes and scale in place is by expanding and going, oh, well, I should probably make it easier for the store in Redwood City to copy what we're doing in San Francisco and Stanford, and then the Oakland one, which was the 4th location, and so forth. I'd say how I did it, which is how I would recommend anybody else to do it, because it's like so anti what you're going to hear from anybody. And this is probably why it works, is whatever you did to get to your first location, if you just do that a second time, that's how you open up your second location. Now, if anything, you're going to be better at the second one than the first one, because now you had experience to do the second time. To open up the third one, all I did was what I did the first time and the second time with the learnings of those both 2 times. And I did it a third time. And slowly but surely, I just kept getting better and better at it. In fact, I didn't go, oh, let me think about scalability till like location 30. I didn't think, oh, well, we should probably put all these processes together until like location 30. A lot of times people go, oh, we need to figure out how to scale it. You don't need to figure out how to do anything other than open up the one location. If you acted like you had 0 locations and were opening up your first, even if it might be your 20th, that's all it takes. And then you just link them together, backlog, the way that you do it through your culture, not through the way some book told you to do it. Because your brand, your whatever it is, whether you have 1 or you want to get it to 1,001, it's all going to be based on you and your personality and what you're doing. It doesn't matter anything else.
So your systems that you have in place in the store right now, you didn't have those in place before you opened like the 10th store or the 20th store? You were
Nope.
basically shooting from the hip from the get-go?
Well, I wouldn't say shooting from the hip, but so say I'll walk you through kind of fast version of what it did. I opened the first one. I was the only person that worked there. I had
Sure.
some help from my mom and maybe some friends, but like as far as getting the store open, that was me. The second store, I had a very successful first store, obviously, which is why I wanted to open up a second one. And then I saw that there was two guys that worked with me that I thought, oh, I can, or three guys actually, that I could build a second store around, or even leave in charge of the first store while I did the second store. So I left my top two employees slash friends slash coworkers at the first Ike's, the very busy Ike's, and I took the third best one and we went to go open up the second location. And I showed him how to do it. Like I went to go open it with all the knowledge I had was just from the first one and whatever I learned in 2 years of trying to get it open and getting it open. And then him and I opened it and I said, go do this. And if you need any help, call me. So he went and he got the second location open. Then we go and I'm working the second store with him. And then I work at the first Ike's on the weekends. Then I go to open to the third one. So I grab another person that's working. So now the third best guy is running the second location. The first and the second best guy are running the first location. So I took like the fourth or fifth best guy. And then I go, we're going to open up the third location. And then we did that. And then slowly but surely. So it wasn't that there wasn't a process of shooting from the hip. It's more like, hey, I'm going to show you how to do it. And then if you need anything, come back to me. And then that's how it was able to scale, is because I took people that worked for me and just delegated out the stuff I didn't want. Like I didn't want to go and stand in line to go get a seller's permit. I didn't want to go do all these things. So I said, hey, you go do it, Andy. All right, Patrick, you're going to go do this. And then if you run into anything, just come back to me. And that's basically how the first three stores opened, was through that kind of vision. And then the fourth one and fifth one, that I started getting actual teams put together. Okay, you guys are going to go open the fourth one. And don't even call me unless you need something.
You're empowering your team and educating your team to do this. And that seems like a very smart vision. I know too many operators. I did it when I scaled a restaurant concept I used to work for. I'm like, I want to do everything. I did everything. It's like, don't worry, I'm going to handle this. I'll get the permitting for this and I'll do the paperwork for the APZ.
I could totally see you doing that, Andy.
And then I just drown. But then I don't have the support I need because you didn't educate your team to help you and support you or do it on their own. So it's a very smart way to do it and scale.
I think most people get totally caught up in the process and really get, paralysis through analysis, right? Like just get caught up in trying to put it all together. And instead you really focused on just like moving forward every day. I think that's really pretty cool.
Yeah. If you real quick on that, Patrick, because this is exactly a lesson that probably everybody listening, regarding anything in their life, can handle. If you just focus on the goal, so the goal was to get the second store open. The goal was to get the first store open and only worry about what it takes to get the first store open. And then the second one, only worry about what it takes to get the second location. Like if I asked you, hey, Patrick, hey, Andy, what's your goal? And then you say what your goal is. And then I go, great. If you just got that goal, does it matter how you got there? And some people are like, well, I don't want to do anything bad or illegal. All right, well, you're not going to do anything bad or illegal anyway to get there. So barring anything bad or illegal, to get there, would you just get the goal, or does it need to be exactly how you think it needs to be? What would you rather have? And most people will go, oh yeah, no, if you can get me the location, whatever the goal is, and just focus on that goal, you'll figure out what to do to get there. Because I'll go and think, oh, I need to find roast beef. Oh, I can't find roast beef. All right, let me go find more roast beef somewhere else. Okay, looks like we can't find roast beef. Great, no more roast beef sandwiches then. Or something very simple like that versus, no, I need to sell roast beef sandwiches and I need to do, it's like, fine, if you need to sell roast beef sandwiches, then you can make that more important than your goal.
Did you ever have a goal of having 100 or 5,000 or, 10,000 stores? I mean, what was the original goal?
For me, the original goal was to have food in my stomach, to have my rent paid, my gas in my car.
Yeah.
That was it. So when let me move back just a little bit from that. I started Ike's and I wanted to get into the business of having a cafe because I thought if I'm not going to make money, which to an extent, I probably was making a fair amount of money, like $3,000 a month at working at multiple jobs. I was working 7 days a week, 3 jobs, making about $3,000 a month pre-tax. And so I thought, well, if my cap is going to be $40,000 a month or whatever, $36,000 a month, if I'm going to be broke, I might as well be broke and doing something only that I love. And this is a view that I had that changed my whole life. Whoever is out there and unhappy with their job, unhappy with their life, if you're going to be unhappy with your life, that costs you a lot. So I thought, my life sucks. So I'm just going to go work for myself, because at least if I'll be doing what I love to do, and I might still be as broke or maybe even more broke, but at least I'll love what I do. So what's worse than being broke is being broke and doing something you don't want to be doing. So I thought being broke and doing what I love to do is an upgrade over, even slightly over, being broke and doing what you don't want to. So I only focused on doing what I wanted to do and then getting my rent paid and my food in my stomach, because I had been once upon a time not having that as an experience and not having rent paid, and then having gas for my car so I can get back and forth from work. That was my base level. If I could do that and do what I love to do, it was an upgrade over my previous life.
We see this theme in each episode we're doing, that it's not about the money. It just really isn't. And I knew that. I loved teaching. I wanted to be a teacher, but my restaurant was called School, and we had to play in words on that and all that stuff. But also, the love of creativity and doing it was really central for me. And we keep hearing from restaurateur to restaurateur that it's not about the money. It really isn't.
Well, I want to make a key distinction here, because while it's not about the money, it was about what I would like, which was to be happy, to do what it is that I would love to do. And we all know, if you're doing what you love to do, you've often done things, you do it today. You probably did it so many times this year, where you did stuff not for money. Like, you didn't care that you didn't get paid. I guess that's a better way to put it. You didn't care that you didn't get paid. You did it because you wanted to do it, and the wanting of the doing it was enough payment. Like, that was payment enough. And if you ended up making money, you're like, boom, bonus. And so my focus was on that part. And then through doing that, because the question was, did I think that I want to get to 100 locations? Through doing that, I was able to only care about what you wanted when you came in, to only worry about making people happy, to only worry about expanding my menu. So I had brown rice milk on the menu for the person that didn't want soy milk or couldn't have nuts, to have gluten-free sandwiches, to have vegan sandwiches, to have vegetarian sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. Which is my favorite part of Ike's, is all those. I love those. That's my favorite part. I'm not a meat eater, so.
Now, a lot of people go, oh, that's very inclusive of you. And, in the best way possible, I don't give a crap about being inclusive. Yeah. I did it because I wanted to make people happy. And that's different than doing it to be inclusive.
Well
because
said.
I wanted to do it to make people happy, to make people want to eat at my place, and for me to feed them, which is technically a selfish act by me. You ended up benefiting, Andy, since you're a non-meat eater. You ended up benefiting. I don't want to say I don't care about the environment or I don't care about animals, because that's not true. But I didn't sell vegetarian food because I cared about the environment and because I care about animals. I did it because I care about you. And because you felt that I was cared about through the extensive menu that I have, you felt cared about. And then you told everybody, hey, if you go to Ike's, they're going to care about you. They're going to love you. And then you're going to love the food too. But that was still a selfish act on my part, because I wanted to make you happy. Now, that's a weird way of.
No, I think it's absolutely a fantastic way of stating this. That sounds absolutely fantastic. A lot of these places you go and you see this massive menu, and it's a little bit overwhelming and it's confusing sometimes. And your menu, I'm going to jump forward to one of the topics I was going to ask anyways, but your menu is so diverse and fun, and it incorporates it has local resourcefulness and celebrity all over it, all of it. Where'd that come from? Because that's one of the most fun parts. I mean, to see Pee Wee Herman's name on your menu always tickles me. Not in a weird way. It just tickles me.
I was going to say, because he does do that kind of thing.
He does, yes.
Or did, I should say.
Where does that come from? Why was that central to you?
When I was on the list of what I needed to do was create the menu. So it was twofold to create the menu. One, the actual recipes, the actual sandwiches. So I was like, boom, I'm going to fill in the blank, make the menu. So I made the menu as 25 sandwiches for meat, 10 for breakfast, and then 10 for vegetarian, with 2 of those being vegan. And then I looked at the sandwiches, and it was turkey, bacon, Swiss, chicken, buffalo wing, ranch. And I know that when I go to other restaurants, what I didn't like was going, hey, could I get a turkey avocado Swiss? To me, that sounded lame. Now, I might eat that sandwich, although I probably wouldn't order that sandwich. That was a poor example for me. But if I go, could I get buffalo wing chicken sandwich? I thought that was...
It's more exciting. You said that the other one sounded boring, right?
Yeah, uncreative and all these other things. So I thought, I'm going to name all the sandwiches. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to name all the sandwiches, and I'm going to name them after people that I respect or love. And that's how it started. So I go, okay, I'm going to name a sandwich after my brother. I'm going to name a sandwich after my sister. I'm going to name a sandwich after my mom and my friends. And now, fortunately, my cat. Fortunately / unfortunately, once I got to like sandwich number 14, so the first 14 sandwiches, I ran out of friends or loved ones that I thought to name a sandwich after / thought deserved to get a sandwich named after them, because it's a combo. Like, I don't want to name a sandwich after that one cousin that pisses me off all the time. But I also thought there was a part of me that thought, oh, people are going to get upset that I named a sandwich after them. So I didn't name it my brother's name or my sister's name. I named it after their nicknames. And then, so right around 14, I was like, oh man, I ran out. But my menu, like I said, I started with 25 sandwiches. So I still needed to name another 11 sandwiches or 12 sandwiches. And then, because I ended up going to number 26, because I forgot a friend, and then I wanted to name a sandwich after my friend. So I just added a 26th sandwich. And so I go, well, I'm from San Francisco. Who do I love? Oh, I love Barry Bonds and Will Clark and Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and the Golden Gate Brit and all these things. So I was like, I'm just going to filtered it into iconic places. I named a sandwich because we were in the Castro. I named one after the Castro, Pride of Castro sandwich. We were on 16th and right in the heart of 16th and Market. So I named a sandwich that, and so forth. Now, what happened, and it was a happy miracle / great marketing, is because we named sandwiches after celebrities, or I did, the original menu, when actual celebrities and baseball players started coming in, they'd go, Joe Montana has a sandwich. Oh, yeah, maybe I could name one. Maybe I could design one someday. Because I had that menu that way, and because I named it after people, friends and family, people started asking and requesting to get sandwiches named after them. Our first celebrity sandwich was Tim Lincecum, and this was in 2000. The first one, before he won his first Cy Young Award, and he was the first celebrity that we did a sandwich with that participated in the designing of their sandwich. And basically it was, hey, the Giants pitched me because the Giants back then were probably, I know how weird it would sound, a less hot brand than Ike's was in 2008. Giants sucked. Other than Tim Lincecum winning the Cy Young, they had no really amazingness going for them at the time. So they said, hey, if Timmy wins the Cy Young, will you name a sandwich after them? And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, of course I would, right? But I closeted thought to myself, okay, he needs to design it and he needs to autograph the poster and then we'll put the poster up. Like, I was thinking we needed to get something out of it too, because it is a benefit. I mean, I'm sure both of you would love a sandwich named after them. I know at other restaurants, I love it when people name stuff after me. So I said, okay, if Tim does this and does this, we'll design a sandwich. So they were like, absolutely, Tim Lincecum's going to design the sandwich. So then once we had Tim Lincecum in the poster and his autograph and all that, it was like an official endorsement of the product. And then Matt Cain walked in and goes, oh, something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing here, I don't want to say this was his quote, but he's like, oh, you named a sandwich after that guy? Like, what about me? Kind of thing. So, awesome. So then we designed a sandwich with Matt Cain. And then Matt Cain's sandwich is our number one selling sandwich, if not number two selling sandwich of all time.
Wow.
And then that turned into other celebrities coming in and then wanting to get sandwiches named after them. So it was all an amplification of the original idea that I don't want to call it a club sandwich, because that's a stupid name. And that's a name everybody else uses. And yeah, I'm just going to say, if you call a sandwich club sandwich, unless you're a cards-based or cards-themed, poker-themed restaurant, that's a stupid name, and you shouldn't call a sandwich club sandwich on your menu. It could be a club sandwich. And so I did that, and that ended up turning into almost every celebrity that comes in has asked, oh, maybe I'll design a sandwich someday. Or they'll sneaky say it. I have celebrities sending me DMs, celebrities about, sending me DMs going, hey, I eat at the so-and-so location. I'd love to design a sandwich. Maybe we can get together. Like from small-time celebrities, like local football players on the NFL teams, to like A-list celebrities have slid into my DMs. And then obviously that gives credibility, marketing. If I go, hey, who was a recent one we did? Hey, if Halsey did a sandwich, or hey, if Marshawn Lynch did a sandwich, you go, oh, well, Marshawn did
would
one.
Have
sure,
Skittles in it.
Oh, Halsey got one? Yeah, sure. Why not? Right?
Beast mode.
Yeah, yep. The beast mode. Exactly. That's so cool. I love that. I love how that's grown for you too. And I mean, that's such a win on so many levels to have the celebs reaching out to you and then you create a great sandwich around them or they create it with you. But that's fantastic. What else you got, Patrick?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. So now you're at 100 stores. What's the goal now? Where does Ike's go from here?
Oh, so you asked if I thought it was going to get to 100, or that I have the idea to get to 100. Because my whole idea was to just do it for the love of feeding people. And all I cared about was making you happy. Like, you would come in and be like, oh, your chicken is like that. Because we do our chicken way differently than somebody else does their chicken. Way different. We mix it with the sauce. We kind of make them chicken salad sandwiches with whatever sauce it is. Although I would not say it's chicken salad, but some people might not know about it. And you would say, oh, actually, I didn't want this. Can I get something else? And even though, because this happened on like the first few days, I'm like, I'm not going to make money because I'm going to lose money because I'm going to give you a free sandwich. I'd only care that you got a different sandwich. So, okay, you want a roast beef instead because you didn't like the way that we make the chicken. And I only cared about that because I just wanted to feed people and make people happy. I didn't do it to make money. I ended up making money because through doing what I love, able to be way more creative about it, way more loving in it. I'm not going to go, well, Patrick, sure, but I'm going to need food costs on that sandwich if you want me to replace it, kind of thing, versus let me just give you the sandwich. So slowly, it didn't happen overnight, maybe like 6 or 8 months in, which I know is fast for restaurants. But then we had a line out the door for like 3 hours. I saw that and I immediately went, oh my gosh, this is going to be $1 billion company one day. And I'm not that, and I don't know anything about running a business and other than from running a business. So I sought out marketing books. I sought out leadership books to be a better person. Like, I'd be the guy. I was Gordon Ramsay cussing out my staff, calling them idiots and embarrassments to their family, stuff like that, and making people cry and walk out on shifts. I'm not saying that this to brag. I'm just saying that's who I was. And I saw that's not going to get me to $1 billion company. And I thought that I was going to be $1 billion company because I saw what we were doing. And then I saw the response that people were getting. And then the food was good too. So I started getting better and better. And as I got better, opportunities showed up. So to open up Stanford came to me and said, hey, do you want to put in an offer on this location? You likely don't even hear about when Stanford has an opportunity available because you need to know somebody in there, either by already being on campus or by somebody reaching out to you because they want you. And then the one that we opened up at Redwood Shores and so forth. So slowly but surely, I saw, oh my gosh, this is going to be that company. So now I'm going to go and do that. And as the opportunities showed up, good opportunities, I just started expanding without thinking that even though I was a jerk as a boss and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not a good enough leader, I didn't let those negative self-talk, which were all true, because it didn't matter that it was true. I didn't let that stop me from only focusing on what I love to do. And then I'm way better at it now. Like, I think I'm a great leader now. I don't think I'm that jerk boss that I was back then. In fact, I think I'm probably one of the greatest bosses ever. And if you've worked with me, you probably think the same thing too, unless you were one of the first people and I cussed you out and I apologized to you. I'm sorry.
You put in the work and you practice and you got yourself better.
And that's with anything. And we're going to do that even in the face of our own, like having to sit down and be honest with ourselves about our drawbacks. You're going to do that only in the areas that you really love and care about. And because I really loved and cared about feeding people and eating and making memories with people, I was okay with, Ike, I'm going to use the word, Ike, you're an asshole. You need to change. But if I didn't care, if I was working for somebody that didn't care, I'm like, yeah, I don't care if I'm an asshole. I should be one because these guys are lucky I'm even here. And I had the opposite experience with there. And then I just expanded. So to get to 100, literally when I had one location, I thought this was going to be $1 billion company and we're going to have 5,000 Ikes one day. Now I think we're going to have like 40,000 Ikes one day worldwide. But it started right when I had one. I thought about it, that it was going to happen. And here we are, 100 in. Probably it's going to be faster to get to 1,000 than it did to get to 100. Watch that.
Time to take out a Subway and get Steph Curry and all those guys to do your commercials.
Yeah, if Subway was intelligent and the people that bought them for $9 billion or whatever they paid, they would come to me and they would buy me right now for $1 billion and say, Ike, we're going to turn all the weakest Subways sales-wise into Ikes and immediately overnight triple their volume. That would be roughly, 1,000 of 3,000 or 4,000 Ikes.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, Ike's is worth $9 billion and Subway's worth $9 billion. And literally overnight, they would double the value of their company. And then step two is, because Subway's main drawback is they suck. People think that they suck and people think their ingredients suck. I personally think that they suck too, but my opinion is irrelevant. Their customer's opinion is the only one that matters. But people only shop there because of the discounts or the cheap factor of this.
Sure.
And I've totally been there. I've been the guy only buying dollar menus at fast food places because of that.
Sure.
They would bring me in, help me with their menu, and go, "Hey guys, we don't suck anymore because look, we got the world's foremost expert on sandwiches helping us with menu." Literally everybody that has ever thought to not eat at Subway because it, quote, sucks would be like, "Well, if Ike's making the menu, I'll try there one more time."
Yeah.
I'll try the Ike sandwiches at Subway. And literally, Andy, you would eat there one time at least. Patrick, you would eat there one time at least. And almost everybody you know would eat at Subway one more time to try the new Ike menu there. And all they had to do was back it up then, right? With the flavor and the upgraded of ingredients. And maybe even if they don't upgrade the ingredients, just the cool factor. And then Subway would also go up in value. And then there they go. They're 9 billion turned into like 25 billion overnight for something so simple. So yes, they should buy me. And that's what should happen. Then Ike's will be a $10 billion company. Subway would be like a $15 billion company. And then I can serve 40,000 restaurants.
We can invest, right? Patrick, you and I can get in on this or what? I love the story, Ike. This is fantastic. I mean, I hope that's what happens. But in the end, I just love that your organic and wholesome growth from where you began to where you are now is such a great story. So I commend you hugely on what you've done and what you've accomplished. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We got one little twist at the end. We throw out a question, and I'm going to actually, each show I'm morphing it a little bit, Patrick. I apologize, but we don't want the same answer because I think I might get the same answer with this guy Ike here.
I think so.
What would you do if you had to work, but it wasn't about the money? And don't say you keep running Ike's. I want it out of the food industry. No food industry.
Okay, all right. So besides Ike's, because I was like, that's what I did. I didn't do it for the money. And
you did it, exactly.
So besides Ike's, if I was going to do something different, not in the food rest, because I'd be like, oh, I'd open up a pizza spot. Okay, no food. I would go around and I'd speak to students. And by students, I mean like 8-year-old, whatever. I'd speak to kids, and the kids could go up to age, 50, right? Where I just speak to people on how that they, whatever it is that they love to do right now, and have them see that they could do it as a way to generate their new career so that everybody on the planet was doing what they loved. And then I think if we were all doing that, there'd be way less, if not no, wars and racism. And not that I'm like idealistic, no wars and no racism. I'm just saying if everybody you walked into was happy and doing what they love to do, they wouldn't care who the president was. They wouldn't care who the governor was. They wouldn't care. People wouldn't try to take anything from anybody. Everybody would be self-generating their own happiness. So they're not like, hey, Andy, you need to make me happy. So that's what I would do. And I would do that. And I just probably speak every day, either in person or online or both, like every day for 2 to 5 hours a day, just speaking to people.
I love that. And you know what? I'm sure you have had a massive influence on so many people that worked alongside you, for you, and so on. So I know that you're oozing that anyways, but that's a really cool answer. I like that. Well, big thanks to you, Ike. You are a fascinating guy. You're a San Francisco gem, and we love you.
So, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll send you guys the invitation for the opening so you guys can come to the party.
100%. I would love that. Thank you so much. And for our listeners, join us next time for episode 7 and beyond. We got some more good episodes coming up this summer with, restaurant accountant extraordinaires. We have Jordan Cressman of the Sharky's Restaurant Group in Southern California coming on. So keep an eye on us. We'll tease what's coming up next and keep listening. All right, you guys. Thanks.
If you enjoyed today's show and don't want to worry about missing an episode, you can follow the show wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you found today's episode interesting or useful, please share it with someone you think would benefit and consider leaving a rating and review.
Reviews help restaurant owners or buyers just like you discover this podcast and benefit from the important topics covered in the episodes. Your opinion matters to us as a listener, so feel free to leave topic suggestions and feedback for us, as we will use these to tailor the episodes to you and help you get the most out of listening.
Thank you all for listening to this week's episode of Restaurant Deal Making Exposed. If you're considering selling your business and would like a free consultation, reach out to Patrick and Andy at therestaurantsalesbroker.com or visit www.therestaurantsalesbroker.com to learn more.